In this lecture, we will be discussing about platform as service. So let's start with the introduction to PaaS. So platform as service, or it is also called as platform-based service. So it provides runtime environment. That is, it allows the programmer to create, test, run, and deploy web application. So customer will be provided with the provision to instantiate, run, manage their applications without any complexity. They need not have any complexity of building or maintaining the infrastructure which will be required for developing or launching an application. So PaaS provides all the infrastructure required for creating, testing, and running and deploying the web application. So customer can make use of this service on pay-as-use basis. That is, they will be paying for whatever they're making use of, and this can be accessed using internet connection. And the backend scalability, it is managed by the cloud service provider. So user need not bother about managing the infrastructure. So a few examples of PaaS include Google App Engine, Force.com, so Azure. So all these are few examples which will be providing the infrastructure for the developers. So coming to the next one. These are the infrastructure provided by PaaS, that is programming languages, application frameworks, databases, and other tools. So the PaaS provides various programming languages for the developers like PHP, Ruby, Perl, Java, Python. The application framework which is provided by PaaS include Node.js, Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, etc. So these frameworks are easily understood by the developer for the development of their applications. And the databases, PaaS provides various databases like MongoDB, ClearDB. So with the help of these databases, it helps in communication with the applications. Other tools, so it provides tools for developing, testing, and deploying the applications. So let's see about the advantages and disadvantages of PaaS. Coming to the advantages of PaaS, it provides simplified development. That means the user can develop the application without bothering about how to manage the infrastructure. The next advantage is it has very low risk. That is, user need not invest for hardware or software. They need only a PC and internet connection, and by purchasing the infrastructure from the service provided, they can start developing the application. Then PaaS has pre-built business functionalities. So some providers, they have already defined the business functionalities. User can just make use of the functionalities which is provided, the APIs which is provided by the service providers. They need not start everything from the scratch. The next one, it has instant community. That means the vendors, the PaaS developers can work online and they can interact with the online communities. The developer can get the idea, they can share their experience and also get the feedback or the advice from other people who are working on PaaS. And coming to the scalability, so applications which are deployed using PaaS can scale from 1 to thousands of users, and they need not make any changes to the applications. Okay, but it also has some disadvantages. So the first disadvantage is vendor lock-in. That means if you are developing any application by making use of the service provided by one particular service provider, so the same thing, it can work only in that particular environment. The same thing cannot work for all the environments. For example, if you are considering an application which is written in Python and against the API provided by Google using the app engine of Google, it works only for that particular environment, not for all the environment. And coming to the data privacy, so here privacy can be a critical thing coming to the PaaS. Okay, so if it is not within the company, it can it can have the risk in terms of privacy of data. So these applications, PaaS applications, are dependent on network. They must explicitly use cryptography and manage the security. So the last disadvantage is integration with rest of the system application. So some applications are local, but some applications are in the cloud. So there can be some complexity which is involved. Okay, whenever we want to use the cloud data on local, or whenever you want to integrate the cloud data with the local data, the integration may incur some complexities. So based on the functions, PaaS can be classified into 4 categories. So application delivery only environment, standalone development environment, open platform as service, then add-on facilities. So coming to the standalone development environment, it works as an independent entity for specific function. It does not include licensing or technical dependencies. Then application delivery only environments. So this include on-demand scaling and application securities. Open platform as service. So it offers an open source software which helps the PaaS providers to run the applications. And last one is add-on development facilities. So add-on, it helps in customizing existing platform. So these are the 4 main classifications of PaaS based on the functionalities provided. It can also be classified based on either public, private, or hybrid cloud. Okay, so PaaS was initially intended for the applications on the public cloud services. So public PaaS, it is derived from software as service, SaaS. So private PaaS, it can be downloaded or installed in company on-premises data center, or it can be deployed on the public cloud. Once the software is installed, so one or more machines, it arranges the applications and the database components into a single hosting platform. So hybrid PaaS, it consists of mix of public and private deployment. And again, we have some more types of PaaS, that is called as CPaaS, that is communication platform as service. So in this cloud-based platform, it enables developers to add real-time communication features like voice, video, messaging. So this can be added in their own applications. So they need not have any back-end infrastructure or interfaces. Then coming to the mobile platform as service, mobile PaaS, it provides development capabilities for mobile application for the mobile app developers and designers. Then open PaaS, it does not include hosting. So we have seen that PaaS provides deployment also, but in open PaaS, it does not include hosting. So it provides open source software and allows the PaaS providers to run the application in open source environment. So thank you all.